Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about REDCAMP mini alcohol stove. It's a neat little thing. Nicely fits in my coffee cup, that's kind of handy. Comes in a nice storage bag. I actually added a lighter to the bag. I got a hot lips for my coffee cup. The burner itself. The stand. And I also added a bunch of toothpicks. It makes it a little easier to light this thing. So we'll set one of them out. Pretty simple. This just pops on and off. The lid itself is basically an extinguisher to put it out. Works pretty good. And you can also adjust it so if you want to turn your flame up or down, which, you know, most of us are going our flames up. I think I just popped that out of the slot. See if I can get it back in there. Either way, it will work. This I got on Amazon. There we go. 15 bucks, I think it was, something like that. One of the simplest stoves out there. It's just this little burner. You put a little bit of fuel in the bottom. I use heat. This seems to be the cleanest, most effective fuel I can find. And I actually only put about maybe even a 1/4 inch in the bottom, not very much, you know. It says you can cook with just an ounce. Put it on there. You could use matches for this, but I find that the little Bic wants to light. It lights quick. The flame is a light blue, so it's really hard to tell. As far as it cooks out of the center, and then once it heats up and gets going, it'll start cooking out of the holes around it. Put some, it's not going yet. It's not out. I mean, it may not look like it's working or not, but got some roast beef ramen here. Pretty simple. I've not had the roast beef before, so hopefully it's good. And for me, you know, I always like it a little spicy. Since I'm home and I have a big bottle of Tabasco, definitely going to add some heat to this. And some water. Oh, there it goes. I heard it just pop. And it's going actually pretty darn good. I want to move that. I'll come in and give you some close-up shots of the stove here in a second. Make sure everything here is cleaned up, put away. I know it's probably going to be hard to tell, even with the camera, it has a hard time picking this up. But if I grab a toothpick out of here and show you where the flame is. So it's burning clear up into here all the way around. It's not a super fast like a gas stove or like a regular canister gas stove. But I've been playing with this for a couple months now. I actually cooked quite a bit on it for the last couple months. Been enjoying it. It works so efficiently. I mean, this is a 12-ounce bottle. What they say is I can get 12 meals out of this one bottle, which is a pretty cheap bottle. Overall, probably takes 5 minutes to boil what little bit of water and noodles I have in here. It'll start steaming pretty quick. The top's already getting warm. You can see a little water on the top that's on there from when I just washed this thing. It'll dry out quick. But overall, I'm very impressed for how cheap this stove is. And those that know me know I like cheap. I'll start with the cheapest product I can find. If that fails me, I'll move up price a little bit. But I have not had an issue with this stove. I don't see how it can fail. It's got a rubber band inside the lid, so you can actually leave alcohol in there. When you're done, you extinguish it with the cap, and then when it cools down a little bit, because it does get a little hot, You just screw the lid on it, pop this back on it, put it away, on about your day. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm actually using it a lot too, more than my gas stove, which I'm testing out a new gas stove also. I'm actually testing out a whole bunch of new gear, but hopefully this tastes good, which I'm sure it will. Tabasco helps everything. And it's the point now where I can't even see the alcohol on the bottom. It burns. I've never filled it all the way up and see how long it burns, because I don't want to waste it. It's alcohol. If it doesn't have the lid on it, it's going to evaporate. So I don't like it to do that. And, you know, no sense in wasting money. Overall, been very efficient. Even if like I normally do, is 2 packs of ramen and 3 times as much hot sauce, of course. And this thing will boil it, cook it. I've done rice, Noel's rice mix in here, Spanish rice in here. Same amount of time. It's so bloody efficient. I mean, it is too bad. The lighting's bad. You can't see the flame, but maybe you can. I put it in the shadow here. But you can see that thing is just raging in there. Quiet, no smell. That's the heat, no smell. The stove itself makes no noise. The only noise you'll hear is when it gets to boil in the aluminum pot here, the lid will start rattling. I am kind of bummed because I got a really nice Toaks titanium cup, but it will not sit on here. It'll actually fall through the teeth. My coffee cup will just sit on there, so that'll work. So I've been using this pot on this stove to test it out. I've been using it a lot too. How else do you test stuff unless you just keep using it? Yeah, it's already steaming inside. In a couple of minutes it'll be boiling inside. Okay, it's been about 3, maybe 4 minutes. We've got a pretty good boil going on in here. Nice thing about this stand also is it's sturdy, not like those butane, isobutane stoves that are wiggly and such. You don't have to worry too much with this thing. So get that stirred up, get off there, set it aside. And now I'm done. I just take this, boom, it's out. Pretty simple. The top rim is still very hot where the flames are, but the outside edge is not. Has many options. You can actually use it like this. Just put it like this. It's kind of a height adjustment thing. You can put this over the top and adjust a different height. They had one more method. I think I saw it somewhere. But overall, very nice little stove. Yeah, cools down quick. It's a light material. This is copper. So, bam, boom. Right back in the bag. So if you're just cooking a small little thing or boiling a couple cups of water, you're good to go in no time flat. Drop the ladder in there, my hot lip in there. I've not figured out a carrying container for the fuel yet, because definitely don't want to carry 12 ounces unless I need 12 meals. But for like a 3-day trip, I'll probably carry a brand new one of these. Be good to go. Small, compact, pretty darn light. I've never weighed it, but I don't have to. And the fuel's what weighs. But overall, this whole setup is lighter than my canister stove. It's lighter than my wood stove, my wood burner. Well, it's a lot smaller too. It's just another option. Like I say, I've been playing with stuff, testing stuff out. You know, I got a 300-mile trip coming up here in April, and I want to make sure the gear I bring is what I want to bring and use during that trip. I'm going to be going along the beach for most of this trip, so I'm going to be cooking clams, I'm going to be cooking crab, I'm going to be cooking oysters. I'm going to probably bring a big aluminum pot hanging off the back of my backpack just so I can boil up some crab while I'm on the trail. And the oysters, yeah, sharpened up my oyster knife yesterday. It's ready to go. It'll be fun. I hope you enjoyed this little nitbit on the stove, and look into it. I did recheck Amazon while I was waiting for it to boil. It's $16.99 for the stove. I actually bought 2 of these, one for me and one for a friend of mine. He's been testing his out too and he loves it. He quit using his other burner stove. And even though he's got a titanium burner, it's like, overall it's still lighter with fuel and the stove than carrying that big old metal canister of fuel. You know, you can put this in any kind of plastic container that can hold it. And it's going to be lighter than a canister. And you're not going to get as many uses out of one of these bottles as you will even one of the small canisters. But hey, this you can find anywhere. Those canisters you can't find everywhere. And you don't have to use this. You can use any kind of fuel. This is a gasoline antifreeze. But it doesn't smell, doesn't leave any residue on the pots, burns really hot really fast. I like it. I mean, I watched a lot of videos, people recommended it, and I was like, oh, since I've used this, I'll definitely keep using it. But you could use gasoline, you could use anything that will burn, ethanol, I mean anything. And that's the option of the alcohol stoves. You can burn whatever can burn in it. Some stuff's going to create smell. Some of the smells are not good for you. Some of the stuff will start leaving soot on the bottom of your pot. And if it's doing that, it's probably not good for you. Unless it's wood leaving soot on your pot. Then it's just a mess to clean up. But I got pots just for my wood burning stove that I'll use. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of video and have a good day.